Hello, welcome to this energy update for May of 2025. Happy Beltane. I'm currently recording this on Beltane. Happy May. I hope Taurus season has been treating you well. I tend to like Taurus season. So I've already pulled some cards and I'm just gonna get right into it and I'll pull some more as we go. Feeling a little nervous. The energy is very interesting. So the invitation for the month of May is the High Priestess reversed. Then we have the Ace of Cups reversed, the Page of Pentacles reversed, and the Five of Cups reversed. With this High Priestess card, I feel that there's kind of a homecoming, a really deep homecoming that May is inviting us into. May also be related, it may be related to Pluto retrograde, have some, flavoring there. But this card, which was in our last reading, is about deep listening and receptivity to that which can only come through us, through our unique channel, our knowing, and our intimacy with ourselves, right? This energy can be really challenging. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I do tarot readings and am an intuitive person. I mean, I think we all are. But I feel like this call can sometimes be confronting for a variety of reasons. And I think this month, with the card being reversed, there's potentially some resistance we might be working through around it. I'm honestly getting like even less than specific information we might be wanting to awaken to, right? To receive. Even less than that, it's this mode of being. The mode of being that is the prerequisite for that, right? Like this folding in to ourselves, that homecoming and that presence, that sustained presence that allows those knowings to come through. I think like it's natural that sometimes there's some challenge around this energy, right? Like we are weird, swirly, spiral beings. Things aren't like from A to B, right? Like we move in weird, mysterious ways, and that's it's like par for the course with this card, right? So there's a deepening this month, I think, around there's a deepening of this call, this homecoming, and this invitation to navigate the world in this way where we're coming home to ourselves and we're creating that space of self-presence that allows us to kind of be embodied in such a way that that information can come through. And I think we need to be really gentle with ourselves around this, with the reversal. It's a journey, and we're deepening in the journey this month, right? Big High Priestess themes, right? Big High Priestess energy. I did pull a clarifier for it, which was the Justice card. So again, like, it is about this homecoming, this mode of being that we're being invited to kind of stretch into in a deeper way. But there is something that we need to see this month. Justice card is about balance. It's about, there's a lot to explore there, but really what I'm getting here, is that there's something we're being invited to see, and also this, like, a sense of balance may be relevant, right? Like, and even kind of, it can also be a gateway into that receptive mode too, is like paying attention to our balance, the balance of like our lives and our beings, and the balance specifically that's like required for us to soften and kind of sink into that deeper place. It's a good month to practice listening, to play with silence, and to really kind of, if it resonates, play with this idea of like, what do I need to know? And really feeling into, when you ask yourself, what do I need to know? Like, where in your body, in your being, in your energy field, like, do you feel tension? Do you feel afraid or contracted or uncomfortable with this idea of really bowing to what it is that you need to know? Playing with any resistance there. It's not a bad thing. It's not like we're doing a scan and we're like, there's the resistance, let's get rid of it. It's not like that, but part of this work can be even just coming home to those parts of us that might be scared of what we're going to hear, of what it is we might need to know, the parts of us that might be hiding from our own knowing, right? So the other cards we have the Ace of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups, all reversed. Everything's reversed. Super interesting. I do feel this sort of like very non-linear kind of backwards energy this month, or in this reading. May not be characteristic of the month as a whole, but again, this reading is just like what's coming through for this for you, viewer, for me, for this particular group of people that will see this, what's coming through that's important to know, right? So the Ace of Cups is about initiating a new cycle with ourselves and with our emotions. So this is, again, it's underscoring that homecoming energy. And it's big. It's huge. It's about choosing ourselves. And, you know, that can be really scary. I think it's often not easy when we're in situations like even the phrasing of like choosing ourselves. That implies that there's something else we're not choosing, right? We're actually choosing ourselves at the expense of something else. Not necessarily, that's a little harsh sounding, but sometimes it can feel that way. Sometimes it can feel that way, and sometimes it's that what we need to be present with in order to choose ourselves, in order to truly come home to our hearts and reach out, even just to look at our hearts, to say like, how are you? You know, how are you really? Like that can be a lot, right? So there's all of these cards being reversed. It's just a deepening of this energy. And if we do find ourselves feeling resistance, it's perfectly okay. It's part of the process. And it's not, again, an indication that we're doing something wrong or that, yeah, like we're failing, we're falling short. It's part of the medicine. That's the medicine that we are that we are with at this time, if we're experiencing that. So I really hope for us all that we can really try to remember that. And again, okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. So we're choosing ourselves. And this Five of Cups here, this is about I'm like stumbling here. It can relate to grief, right? The deepest and most simple invitation in general of the Five of Cups is to make space for our grief. And this isn't saying that grief is coming, but rather that this month there may be some tender feelings that want our attention, right? This can have to do with feelings of loss in any kind of way, you know. It can be about a situation where, let's say, we are processing a breakup, something like that. But it can also be a more abstract sense of loss or regret. It can have to do with, you know, even this High Priestess and this like kind of this journey that I'm seeing here of like waking up to something or coming home in some way that changes the way we see things. And that changes the way we see things, the way that we listen, the way that we observe, and thus what we're aware of. And what we, you know, that shifts the horizon of possibilities for us. It shifts our compass, right? Because we're getting new information. And there may be a feeling this month of like, feeling like we should have known, or anything like that, it's like, no. We're good. You're good. But yeah, it's a swirly process, and I think that our emotions are part of the key to that space within ourselves that is calling for us. And more generally, with the Five of Cups, there may be some difficult feelings that are seated at the door of that deep cavern within that we need to enter. Or maybe, maybe they're not at the door, but we know that they're at the exit. With the Five of Cups, there's always a balance, again, with this justice, the sense of balance that we can strike around, like, where am I holding space for these feelings? And then where am I getting lost in them? And it's not to say that we need to police our processes, but there can be an invitation into balancing any feelings that could be relevant here with, like, so in the card there's the 2 cups, the 3 that are spilt, and then the 2 that are still full, right? So there can be this sense of, like, feel the feelings, but part of what you are being invited to feel is, and to perceive, is that not everything is lost, and that there is some sort of cup medicine here for you in this, and moving forward and anchoring into that and making sure that we are at least somewhat balancing our feelings with that awareness can be really helpful. And the Page of Pentacles, so this card is really that sense of, like, tell me what I need to know. And it has to do with our soul's calling, like, on this earth. Why we're here. What we're up to in the deepest, like, most connected way that is possible for us at this time. So, and this card is directly underneath the High Priestess, and I do feel that there's a very, like, a deep foundation to whatever's happening this month, to this intuitive expansion, right? And to this intuitive journey. It's connected to our soul's purpose for being here. And so remembering that, but also allowing that to kind of infuse our inquiry and our self-presence is going to be really helpful. And it can also be helpful too, like, sometimes we don't want to see something, or we might want something and life doesn't want that for us. But this Pentacles energy here is really about deep humility and service to life itself, the service that we came here to bring to the planet and to one another at this time. So I think, anchoring into this and trusting that the swirls around this month and the feelings, this kind of swirly spiral journey that we're going on is connected to that purpose. And the more that we can kind of consciously or like orient ourselves toward that purpose and know that like that's what's beneath this and that's what's calling us toward whatever we're being called toward. This is like the way that we're being invited to move. Feels a little bit heavy, potentially. So I'm gonna pull another card for us. Okay, so we have octopus stinkhorn. It says reveal. I'm going to read the description for this. Okay. If we have learned anything from mushrooms, it is not to assume or judge them on their appearance. The octopus stinkhorn or devil's fingers is one of these. It is not poisonous or reaching up from the bowels of hell as some would believe. It is just incredibly good at getting what it wants, but that only happens once it fully reveals itself. Once you reach a certain point in life or with a project, you need to reveal yourself or it to the world for it to serve its purpose. This card is telling you this is what needs to happen. This is a good thing, no matter what it seems to look like. Don't let fear of judgment stand in your way if you know this is what you're meant to do. This card may also mean that something or someone is going to make a reveal to you. It might be shocking, it may already be foreseen, but don't cast judgment. Just allow it to happen as it is meant to. When we peel away the layers to reveal what is underneath, we allow ourselves freedom to be ourselves. Reveal, let go, no judgment. The purpose is far greater than what is on the surface. Is that not what the reading's about? So yeah, I mean, again, this is really interesting. I feel like this does have themes of authenticity, themes of surrender, and allowing, right? Like this kind of receptive energy. And there is like kind of a trickster energy here. With this card, like appearances being deceiving. And that to me just, sorry for the noises, but that kind of perfectly encapsulates this energy of like things, you know, with the High Priestess reverse, like things might feel a little confusing or swirly, and that's okay. And I think that this energy, I love like the emphasis on lack of judgment here, and this sort of like surrendering and letting things be what they are. And I think the more that we can enter into a space of non-judgment with ourselves, this is going to help us sink into whatever needs to be revealed within us. It'll also help us to be in this space to receive others, right? If other people have things they're revealing to us, or if we are revealing something, right? Something in here that we need to share. Okay, I think I'm gonna pull one more card and then that'll be that. But yeah, and I also like the last sentence, which was basically about, so when we peel away the layers to reveal what is underneath, we allow ourselves freedom to be ourselves. Reveal, let go, no judgment. The purpose is far greater than what is on the surface. There is like a tremendous depth that I'm feeling in this reading. And it's a depth that we need to trust, right? With that Page of Pentacles too, it's like trust in the very deepest of currents, right? And a lot of times we can't see all the way. Like we don't know exactly what that is, and that's okay. Yeah, a little bit of trickster energy here for sure, but we are entering into Gemini season. Okay, so we have the card of summer, which says bring to fruition. It's kind of sweet too because today's Beltane. Oh, bottom of the deck, veils parting. There's some interesting Neptune transits happening. It's all like we're in the swirl, and that's okay. I'm gonna read this, and also I'll show you this card because I think it's pretty sick looking. Sorry, my camera cut off. I should have known better. Like I'm feeling like hot and nervous. The fires as messages. Summer has its own unique qualities, and as it comes upon us, so will new opportunities. Seeds come to fruition in the summer, ripening for yearly harvest that will come again in the fall. Your efforts since the previous autumn are about to be fulfilled and consummated. Take the time to enjoy and savor them. Now is the time to focus on the best ways to help things grow and become stronger. Your work, your life, and your relationships are reaching a new maturity. The summer is a time when we may have to adapt a bit to get the harvest that we have been striving for since the previous autumn. There are clear, strong messages from nature about what you should be doing now, but you may not be paying attention to them. Do not rationalize away or chalk up signs and messages to your imagination. Be careful about focusing so much activity on the present abundance that you miss opportunities for future growth. Take advantage of some of the opportunities and doors that are presenting themselves. Yeah, this is interesting. The card did come out reversed. And I feel there is kind of the energy there of like, again, a little bit potential resistance to signs, to nudges, to our inner knowing. Yeah, these two cards here, though, reveal and bring to fruition. There's this very like full moon energy. We do have the full moon in Scorpio coming up. This kind of like this sense that there's something that is in us, that is connected to our lives, to that deepest current of unfolding that is brightening. And it's becoming something that we can't ignore. I like these cards here. They kind of help to round out the reading, and I feel like there is this kind of, I don't know, it's almost a little bit of a lighter energy. This energy of like the expansion and that swelling up. It's like this, I'm imagining like this ball of light that swells and expands starting from within us to kind of like eclipse almost our entire being, and it's pushing out everything that isn't true. It's pushing things, it's pushing out those resistances in some way or another over the next couple of months. There's this sense of like this something, and really what it is that it's truth. It's our truth. It's other people's truth. It's the truth of the situations we're in. It's the truth of what is coming to fruition, what's been simmering, what's been growing within us, within our lives, within our relationships. Yeah, it's that coming to light and changing us and changing things in the external, for sure. That is definitely the feeling here. I'm gonna pull an angel card because I don't want to say goodbye. I feel like I want to pull one more card. But wow, I had no expectations for May. Like, I felt like there was a veil over me. High Priestess reversed. But this is very, very, very interesting. Okay. Synthesis. I like the rainbow. Yeah, there's this rainbow, and if you can see the little guy, that little angel person, like their face is black, like there's no face, like it's a void. And I feel like it's kind of like with that ball, that energy kind of eclipsing what we thought to be true, eclipsing something about our current understanding. With all of this, I feel like the part of us that is connected to the void, that knows how to go into the void and come out, that's the part of us, that deep, deep part of us is going to help us to synthesize what's the feelings, the information, the realizations, that's the part of us that can hold it all and make it into something that is growth inducing, and beautiful and inclusive of like all parts of ourselves, right? Like all parts of ourselves, like the parts that are in resistance and the parts that like are annoyed about that and the parts that are like just overwhelmed with emotion or shock or surprise, like all of these parts. Obviously, I feel like there's a lot of complexity here too, going into Gemini season, but that's the part of us that is going to carry us through. And that is ultimately also the part of us that the High Priestess is a conduit and a channel for. So that's it. I'm wishing everyone a really beautiful May. Yeah, we're in the labyrinth, and that's okay. I'm hoping that you have lots of sweetness and levity and like really like preciously tender moments. I do feel that is going to be part of this May. So I'm wishing you some fairy Gemini like mischief void worker wisdom. Okay. So take care, and I will see you next month. Bye.